It's 4:44 in the morning. I'm Erin.
I'm Mike.
And I'm fucking dying.
And we're the Sleepy Nerds podcast. Tonight, Mike's summer picks for designer bags made from human skin.
What?
1, 2, 3. Listen.
Welcome back. Tonight, we're all dying a little bit, but mostly Kyle.
Mostly me.
Yeah.
I feel I've properly lubricated enough.
Please stop saying that.
My throat's... It's okay.
He is
Lubricated and throat should not be used in the same sentence in this context.
guzzling water over there, and every time
Neither should guzzling.
punctuating it with the word lubricate.
Throat is practically glistening right now.
Can this podcast episode just be about things not to use in a sentence?
Can we edit everything Kyle says out of this podcast?
Might have to.
We're going to have to turn up the mix way up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Way up on
gonna-
me.
Because...
Like right over to you. The rest of us. Mike and
I
will shout.
sound like a nervous 14-year-old boy.
Like more than usual. Though.
More than usual.
So other than Kyle dying and poor vocabulary lessons, tonight we were going to talk about Justice League.
Woo! I
Yes.
am super excited for after that.
We now have evidence of someone being excited for the Justice League movie.
Anthropologists are flooding into
I
the
kid.
room.
No. Comic-Con just ended last week, and I liked the new Justice League trailer.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot more hope in it.
Yeah.
It still looks... I don't want to use the word cheap. They definitely have a house style going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Wonder Woman had some weird shots where I'm like, man, that looks like it does not belong in a Hollywood movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think it's just the style. They're trying to go for this, like, live action, like, directly comic book,
Yeah.
almost like Ang Lee Hulk style, I want to say.
Great. What a
Hopefully
great
not.
precedent to follow. Yeah.
Hopefully they don't have, like, shots broken up into comic panels, but,
I don't think about it, but I think definitely, like, the shot of, like, Aquaman riding the parademon down.
Yeah.
And it's, like, a very obvious background behind him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, the red sky background is very, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But, no, I'm excited for it. I'm more excited for it now than I was, I think, during the initial
Yeah.
news for it.
Yeah.
And definitely while sitting through Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad.
I'm happy that it seems like they're following the source material somewhat. Like, we have an idea of what this movie is going to be modeled after comic book wise. And I like that. 'Cause
I'm just still approaching the whole thing with cautious optimism, which I sort of did with Wonder Woman too, which is like, I want it to be good. I'm not totally prepared to look at it and be like, that's definitely going to be good. But I'm like, it would be great if it was.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a good
I've
way
been
to
hurt
do it.
so many times. DC,
You
why?
don't hurt me, DC.
Yeah.
You don't hurt me.
I mean, one of the things that's given me optimism is the casting so far. I like Affleck as Batman. I think I like him more as Bruce Wayne.
But he's good as both. In my opinion, he's the only actor so far who's been good as both characters.
From what we've seen,
From what we've seen.
It's not a lot to go on. I feel like,
For
but-
me, what sold it was the scene in, as shitty as the movie was, in Batman vs. Superman, when he was at Lex's party and he was in the basement. And Mercy came in and he's like, I like those shoes, you're looking good. Like, he's trying to be like the playboy billionaire. But it's clearly an act. Like, that's something that
doing the whole Bruce.
I feel like in some of the other movies you haven't seen. Like, he's never really played up the billionaire part as like a disguise.
Yeah, or he did, and then the Batman part of it didn't work.
Yeah, it's always been either or.
Yeah,
But,
like I feel like Christian Bale had some good Brucey moments of like when he was sort of kicking everyone out of the mansion because Ray showed up and was about to burn it down.
But they were very few and far between across all three movies.
Sure.
It's like,
I think my problem with him is, like, I was about to bring that up too. I like Christian Bale, sometimes as Bruce Wayne. But it came across as, like, a very obvious act, even within the world of the movie.
yeah.
like, he never seemed genuinely like that person.
Yeah.
It was like, I felt like if you lived in that world and saw him do that, you'd be like, man, that was really out of character. Like, that seems weird.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
Bruce
really?
Wayne telling
Yeah.
people to get the fuck out of his house. That's a little bit... It's much.
That all sort of read as genuine to me. I've known a lot of rich alcoholic assholes, and that was all, rancor.
Well, yeah, but for, like, Bruce Wayne, like, he plays it up, but I don't think he plays it up to that extent.
So, like, moving on, I think, like...
Sorry.
It's all right. So Ben Affleck, like, obviously Gal Gadot I really like.
Yep.
I think she's great as Wonder Woman.
Yep.
I think she pulls across the kind of, like, naive... Well, in the beginning of the movie, she pulls up the kind of, like, naive, like, wonder about coming into this new world and discovering things. I think she also pulls across, like, she's a princess. I think she pulls across that very well, too, like, being a leader.
Yep. Again,
Yeah.
very much like she was in the comic books when she very first came to man's world. She had no idea what anything was. Like,
I'm interested how they'll address that, like, because there's been decades and decades now between that Wonder Woman, and are they going to approach it with the same, like, she's exactly as, like, ignorant, or is she now adapted
think
to
I think
the
so.
world?
Although-
I wouldn't think so either, but...
I'm curious. Some mascara has 19 volumes on sex, 0 volumes on cars.
well, I mean, those ancient
were written a long
Greeks did
time
like
ago,
to
yeah.
get down.
I don't know. I feel like she knew about, like, some modern things. Like, she was like... I don't know. I feel like she knew some modern things. She's like, oh, that's what that is. Like,
Did you?
I don't know.
I mean,
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm operating at maybe 5%.
I'm just gonna start throwing out statements and, like, not justifying or backing them up at all.
No, not at all.
like going back to the sex thing, her dad was Zeus, and he did like to get it on with
he did fuck
everything.
everything.
But I don't know. Well, I guess they didn't really address it, but it seemed to be implied in Wonder Woman that she had no interaction with him.
No,
It's not like he was raising her or anything.
but she
Is
still
knowledge of having crazy promiscuous sex passed hereditarily with no?
But like they still know about the gods. They still know. Be like, okay,
Oh, sure.
Zeus had 20 kids. They're all gods. So like they knew that Zeus liked to pork people. Like
Well,
I can't believe I just
sure,
said
but
that. But like,
I can't. It's totally in keeping
Yeah.
with your character.
but
Speaking of, I can't find it right now, but there's a comic book. Please, someone find it for me. It is about Zeus's children that he doesn't talk about, and it's like Ascension Wall and like a wheelbarrow because Zeus just fucked everything. So it's about like half god, half wall, and like wheelbarrow people trying to find Zeus.
a hedge.
Please find it for me. I want to read it.
I'm pretty sure you dreamed this.
I didn't.
Anyway, back to the.
Wait, if I did dream it, trademark that idea. Don't you fucking steal that from me.
All right, back to the cast.
4%.
Yes. So, are we still on the cast we have so far?
Yeah, you
So
were.
let's talk about Jason Momoa.
I think Jason Momoa is playing the role that he's been playing the past, like, 15 years, and why not? He's so good at it, just let him do it.
I do
Like,
think that he's gonna steal part of the show at least. Like I think he's just gonna have that like humor. That,
he's...
Yeah, he definitely, I think he commands a scene. It's hard to have him in an ensemble and not be like...
Do you think it's weird that they have, like, 2 comedic, like... Because there's, like, Aquaman and also Flash.
I think they're gonna be different kinds.
I know,
of
yeah, they're different kinds of comedy. Like, I think, obviously, Aquaman's kind of like the arrogant... Well, Silverchair, like, kind of arrogant, like... He'll say whatever he
sarcastic.
wants to, like, very, like, no filter.
Yeah, more sarcastic.
And
I think.
Ezra Miller is kind of coming across as like, oh man, I'm way over my head. I like that.
Yeah,
Self-deprecating.
I think you
nerdy.
have like the sarcastic, arrogant comedy from Aquaman and like the naive comedy from The Flash.
It's gonna be interesting to see if they kind of like, I know DC has said they're trying to go for like a lighter tone now and like a more jokey tone. I'm gonna be curious if they like overcorrect
I hope
and
not.
just go completely.
It's just Abbott Costello does Justice
I
League.
really hope not.
The person I'm most curious right now is Ray Fisher.
As Cyborg,
Yeah, we've seen nothing of him so far.
not much.
Yeah.
Very,
I'm-
very little.
I'm really curious. Like,
Yeah, we've only seen like 2 scenes of Flash, but we have certainly seen less of Cyborg.
yeah, like I like Cyborg as a character. I think it's cool that he's going to be in the film in the jail, like, the Justice League.
Yeah. The only reason I could think is that we haven't seen a lot of him in the trailer is because they want to save a lot of his stuff for the movie. Like his origin and like his story and stuff like that.
I also think it has something to do with the fact that he's like 95% CG.
Well, yeah, that too.
And I'm sure they're still fixing them in post-production.
Probably.
That's what I think it
Every
is.
shot
Well, yeah,
is just
because-
super closely cropped, so it's just like a corner of his head.
It probably is because, like, in the original trailer, there's not a lot of them at all. Because, they were still
He's
working.
covered in like a cloak, I think, in the original trailer,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
In the original trailer, you see more of him as a regular person before he gets
Cyborg.
cyborged
Yeah.
than he is a cyborg. Like, you see him walking down the street with his football jacket on and stuff like that, and you see his father, but you don't see... In the very first trailer, you don't see him as cyborg a lot. But yeah, it's probably, like you said, because most of him is CG, they're probably still working on a lot of it and trying to make it not look like a cartoon.
So, despite DC's and Warner Brothers' best wishes, they couldn't include every single DC character in this film.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. So, we have a few ideas of people we'd like to see cast. I kind of want to do a rule of characters that haven't been live-action cast yet. But there's definitely characters that have been in live-action that could be fixed. I'm looking at you, Smallville.
or like CW shows. But before we get into that, I want to touch on the Green Lantern subject from that trailer.
Okay.
Who do you think... First of all, which Green Lantern do you think they're going to bring in? And who do you think they got to
If
cast
you say
it?
Guy, I will punch you in the face, Kyle.
Just like Guy got punched in the face by Batman. Which was a great comedic moment, so he should be in the fucking movie. Anyway, I think it's going to be Hal Jordan as a veteran Green Lantern. He's already going to be established. I think he'll be in like his 40s, maybe 50s even. Then I think the movie will be Hal Jordan training Jon Stewart.
You think?
Yeah.
For some reason, I have
Seems like a lot to put into a movie as like a subplot.
I mean, Justice League, they're kind of just diving into the deep end.
Yeah.
For some reason, I have a feeling that they're going to go Jon Stewart right off the bat and save Hal Jordan for the Green Lantern Corps movie. Just because there's been a lot of rumors that Tyrese Gibson is closer to locking down the Jon Stewart role than anybody for Hal Jordan.
That Tyrese Gibson has been perpetuating that rumor since maybe 1997.
But I'm seeing a lot more of it now from credible sources now that we're getting closer. And the other reason I think it would be him, too, is because of the Justice League cartoon, and a lot of people are familiar with him.
That's a lot of people growing up now. That's their Green Lantern. Tyrese Gibson is going to, like, kind of maybe argue against it, because he hasn't really done a lot, but he's in the Fast and Furious films, right? Like,
he's done other things. Nothing as memorable as the Fast and Furious movies, but he's been in... he was in Transformers when it came out, when it started.
oh, Christ, he was.
Yep.
Ugh.
And then he realized, nah.
Listen, let's not ruin this podcast by bringing up Transformers, please.
Sorry.
Again.
Ugh.
So that's the only reason I think they'll go Jon Stewart right off the bat, and then maybe save Hal for the actual Green Lantern Corps movie. But who knows at this point?
I think it'd be great if DC just started diving into, like, hard-to-access storylines, because, like, Flashpoint was next to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I hope the first Green Lantern movie is just Parallax.
Blackest Night. Just introduce.
Yeah, just Black Knight.
Just introduce all the Lantern Corps in one movie. Fucking Necron and all this shit.
Do it.
You have characters coming back to life that haven't even died in the movie universe yet.
Do you think they'll cast all of the Shazam family for Gal Gadot to murder in Flashpoint?
Oh. That's a good point.
I hope so. I hope that...
I want to bring the conversation to a grinding halt. Like, what child actors can we murder on screen in their debut roles?
Is Macaulay Culkin too old at this point?
Yeah, God, yes. I mean, we could still like.
Have you been cryogenically frozen?
He's like 47
I know.
now.
It's a
He's
joke.
Hollywood aged.
He's only considered as a child star, though.
Hey, he has his band.
Oh, forgive me.
Anyway.
Macaulay Culkin has a band called Pizza Underground, which is a Velvet Underground cover band that just sings songs about pizza.
God damn it.
Anyway.
Hello?
What were we on before we started talking about
All right.
Macaulay Culkin?
Sorry, I derailed the conversation with Green Lantern. Kyle was talking about people we would want to see cast in live action.
Yes. So members of the Justice League or people we'd like to see, characters we'd like to see as members of the Justice League.
We're gonna
First
keep
and
it. We're gonna keep like
foremost.
DC universe right now.
Sure.
Originally, I wanted to do Marvel as well, but that could be its own
Sure.
own
Could be its own
podcast.
episode.
Yeah.
Marvel characters we want to be in the Justice League.
Yeah.
Justice
So
League Avengers.
DC characters we want to be in the Justice League, and then naturally like who would play them in
Right.
a film adaptation.
Which I don't think we've discussed too much. So I think we're gonna have like some debate here. Anyone want to go first? Because I have the best cast decision. Billy Batson.
No,
Billy Batson. Jay Baruchel.
he's only saying this to upset me.
No, listen. Billy Batson has forever just been like a little kid, and whatever. I feel like if you make him a little kid, it kind of has to be a little kid film. Not necessarily. Now, there's movies with kids that kind of like stand above that. Stand by Me. Even Stranger Things, the new It film. Kid movies starring children don't necessarily have to be about like kids,
Right.
but that's the direction I think DC will take it. Just because now they're kind of going to this like more comedic route,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Are we talking about a standalone film, or are we talking about like a Justice League?
A standalone, like
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't thinking of it in terms of that. I was thinking of in terms of joining into the Justice League and doing something with everyone.
I mean, it could really be either, just because like all these people are going to spin off into their own movies anyway,
Yeah.
Sure.
and they're going to have to like match that tone, I guess. But listen, I think Billy Batson would be really interesting if instead of a little kid, he is just kind of like a burnt out, like early 30-year-old,
I was gonna say.
like that had none of the qualities of Shazam, almost didn't deserve it. So like when he turned into Shazam,
I hate you more than I've ever hated you. in
Listen.
my
I
life
was gonna say,
right now.
Jay Baruchel is currently 35 years old.
perfect.
It'd be a little bit old.
So
So like,
For Billy
what
Batson.
I want is nothing that makes this character who he is. He's going to be a piece of shit. He's going to be an adult. He's going to not deserve the power.
but that would make Captain Marvel, who they're probably going to call Shazam in the goddamn movie.
Of course they are. Of course, they absolutely are.
Yeah.
Especially with the Captain Marvel movie
Do
coming
you think
out.
it'd be funny if DC just like in spite fucking directed a movie in the next 3 weeks?
And put it out.
Like Josh Trank Fantastic Four style, and just released that shit.
under
And it
the
was
name
like,
Captain
you saw the
Marvel.
strings on everyone flying around the sky.
That would be the
And fucking like, what's his name? Mr. Mind is just like a fucking hand puppet.
Marvel would have like a conniption fit. It would be so great.
That'd be great. Kevin Feige would just shit himself.
I'd be like, what the fuck? What just happened?
And the shit would turn into the Inhumans movie. So listen, Jay Baruchel, Billy Batson's like in the JLA Watchtower, all right? And he's like just on a couch like eating pizza, and he's like smoking weed. And they're like, Billy, like you have to come down here, like use the power of Shazam. And he's like, guys, I don't want. Fine, Shazam. And then
Why
And then
why
lightning hit the space station and everyone fucking dies.
Why
Just
does Billy
sucked out to
Batson
the
sound like an old Jewish lady?
because Jay Baruchel sounds like Gilbert Gottfried's fucked depressed sea slug.
When you smoke weed, don't you turn into an old Jewish guy? Isn't that what happens?
No.
Oh. I've been misled for many
I
years.
heard that.
Yeah, I heard that from a friend.
I think that's the John Mulaney bit.
I wish.
God damn it, Erin.
So okay, fine. Who would be Captain Marvel?
Like, fucking literally anyone. Oh, Captain Marvel or
Yeah,
Billy Batson?
Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Jay Baruchel is Billy Batson.
No, he's
No.
not. Like,
Erin and I disagree, but we'll
come together to fight a common enemy here.
we'll play along with this for right now. So you're saying who would Shazam / Captain Marvel be? Powered up, ready to go. I would say if The Rock was not already cast as Black Adam,
Right,
I would
yeah.
probably go that route.
It's like Vin Diesel because The Rock is already taken.
Actually, it's not a bad idea.
Vin Diesel and The Rock won't work together anymore.
Really?
They had a dispute on Fast 8.
But wasn't that all like? Didn't it end up all just being like bullshit that was created for the movie?
I read it on Bing.
So it must be true if you read it
true if you
online.
binged it.
It's my TMZ source.
I read it on Yahoo Answers, so I'm pretty sure it's legit.
I think it's just like, we all know it's going to be John Cena.
Yeah.
I think I would
You know-
would genuinely enjoy John Cena as Captain Marvel.
I think he kind of like, I don't give a shit about wrestling. I know very little about him. I only know John Cena from commercials and like the few comedic like cameos he shows up in other films.
Yeah.
I think John Cena can kind of pull off that like, ah, gee whiz, like I'm a hero.
Right.
I think he pulled it off.
Smiley G-shock.
Like very happy.
Yeah.
So the opposite of DC Superman right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So then it'd be great to have like a Captain Marvel that was like, hey, Soups, I'm ready to do this. And Soups like, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to kill Lex Luthor. He's like, I don't know about that. That sounds pretty rough, buddy.
I'm going to blow up half the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it probably will end up being one of those big wrestler guys.
Yeah, which I'd be okay with.
I mean, it makes sense. They
I
have
think
the
if they can
build
still,
for it.
yeah, and if they can still have that sort of attitude, that like smiley kid, I'm, you know, a 12-year-old on the inside.
I
like,
think the biggest difficulty they're going to have when it comes to casting for the Billy Batson Shazam role is finding a child and adult that looks similar enough so the transformation isn't totally
Do you think
off.
that matters?
Yeah. Because
yeah, really, I was gonna say I wouldn't.
every representation they've had of Billy Batson / Shazam in the comic books of it, at least, the adult and the child have always looked in some way similar.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the whole belief thing. Like if you have like Billy Batson, Jay Baruchel going to somebody like John Cena and be like, I don't know.
It'd be great.
Unless what they do for Billy Batson is straight special effects like the Hulk, and they just take the kid's face and superimpose it onto like a big body.
That'd be great.
It's like almost as bad as Jay Baruchel.
Ultimate idea, Billy Batson, Kevin Hart, Captain Marvel, Terry Crews.
I like that way better, actually. That,
Wait.
I would really enjoy
Two
that.
great tastes that go right together. Billy Batson, Jay Baruchel. Captain Marvel, Terry Crews.
Kyle, no. You have a good thing and you're ruining it. It's like, you know, instead of peanut butter and chocolate, you're doing like peanut butter and fucking day-old cat food.
Ugh.
Jay Baruchel is day-old cat food in this
Just
analogy.
glass and jelly.
Ugh.
All right.
Moving on.
So now that we've sorted that out,
Mike, do you have a character? Erin?
Erin can go first.
okay, I'm gonna go with a. I feel like Captain Marvel was my choice. Did you bring that one up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I feel like I would really enjoy the Question in a Justice League ensemble film.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
The only question,
What?
he has no face.
Right, so he could be anyone.
Not like all the time. Like he's, you know, he's Victor another part of the time.
Yeah.
You know, like
But I mean, majority of the time, he's got the no face.
Okay, guys, the Question. Idris Elba. Watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm only agreeing because I'd literally watch Idris Elba as any character.
That's fair.
I'd watch Idris Elba sit in a room and stare at a wall.
Like me and Willem Dafoe, yeah. Stare at a wall with no face. Just...
There you go.
I feel like Idris Elba definitely has that intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be like kind of like almost. I don't want to say like unhinged or like a loose cannon type character, but definitely that kind of like paranoid like.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling like it's just kind of coming to me. I feel like Nightcrawler era Jake Gyllenhaal
Yeah.
as the Question.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like kind of like scrawny, sunken cheeks, like oily hair, like just weird, like.
Also, you say Nightcrawler era. Wasn't that like a year and a half ago?
Yes.
2 years?
Exactly.
If we could somehow get back to that crazy past time.
I think you need like kind of like an intense actor. And the problem with roles like that is it's like, hey, we want to cast you in a movie, we're covering your face.
Yeah.
But
Who are you
like,
going to get to agree to that?
I mean, Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, I mean, that was a passion project, but
True.
his face was covered all the time.
Well, I feel like with a superhero movie, I mean, I don't know if that's less of a problem, but I feel like there's sort of more expected.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like, hey, you're going to be Iron Man, you're going to be Spider-Man, it's like, okay, well, you're not like,
Yeah.
I want the money maker out all the
Yeah.
time.
I wonder if there's been a study now for all the Spider-Man films. So like Maguire, Garfield, and now Holland. Like, what percentage of the film was you wearing a mask? What percentage of the film was you not wearing a mask?
Sidebar here. One thing I hate, and like the CW DC shows are really bad about it, is the unnecessary pull off the mask, like pull back the hood, whatever it is, just because you clearly like want to have the actor's face in there. They do that so goddamn much, and it never makes sense. They do it really a lot with the Flash, because obviously it like covers up a lot of his face, and they're just like, he's like in the middle of like a warehouse full of villains, and he'll just like see someone and like pull back his cowl and be like, hey, let's have a full conversation with someone I'm on the radio with who doesn't need to see my face and can't see my face, but I'm just gonna pull it off so that people can see. What's his name? Grant Goose?
Yeah, Grant
Gustin. Yeah.
I think.
Well, they might hear like, hey, are you wearing a mask by chance?
You're slightly muffled on your upper lip. Can you pull that back?
You sound incognito.
I think what you were going there. I think the Tom Holland Spider-Man Homecoming definitely had the more masked than unmasked in the suit, at least, right? Because I think the whole point of going with the expression eyes was so he didn't have to take his mask off as much.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like in the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield ones, his mask was coming off. His mask was off probably more times when he was wearing the suit when it was on.
I feel like Tobey Maguire, they always just like ripped up that mask.
Yeah,
like that was sort of their solution. It wasn't pulling it off. They were like, yeah, it immediately gets blasted off his face.
Guys, don't worry. I'm gonna marathon all 6 Spider-Man films.
Kyle, you were going to go home, put on the first Spider-Man film, and immediately fall asleep on your keyboard.
That is true.
You didn't say today. It needs to be done for science.
Exactly. So anyway, the question.
Yeah.
I like kind of keeping this. So I like Idris Elba. I think that'd be cool. Because I think it'd be like, you know, Idris Elba's kind of like a big dude too. I don't think there's ever been like kind of like a powerhouse version of the question. Which like,
but it is like he does a lot of just like punching, you know.
Yeah.
That's really it. He doesn't have any other abilities.
Yeah, he doesn't like pull out a gun or any like.
Well, he's a martial artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
he has to have some build.
Ooh, 'cause I mean, Michael Jai White would be cool.
Yeah.
He's you know an actual martial artist.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're going like 2 different directions in question here. I feel like we're going like actual cool like powerhouse martial artist and like creepy skinny white person.
I feel like Idris Elba could, like you said, pull off the intensity and also just a lot of the like non-verbal. Like it wouldn't be the paranoia of like jittery flying off the handle. It would be like the sort of quiet intensity, but also like unhingedness just through expression.
The reason I think they wouldn't do question how he is in the comics is because we've had Watchmen already.
Yeah.
Too Rorschach-y.
Yeah.
It was 2009 though. It's been 8 years.
It has been, but like I think that
there are a lot of similarities.
Well, I mean, that's who I think Rorschach was supposed to be the question in the comic. You know what I mean, like that's who all those characters are supposed to be. They're all supposed to be Charleston-era characters.
Yeah.
So, oh man, sorry guys, you didn't hear any of that. We will transcribe the episode. Don't worry.
Every other word will be sniffle.
Probably.
Phlegm moving.
So, Mike, I think it's your turn.
Okay. So I know we've already had a live-action version of this character, but I gotta go Green Arrow.
Okay.
Just because they have Flashcast already, and people are so attached to him from the TV show that I think that if they were to include Green Arrow in any way, you'll still pull that TV show version for people that either like the character or are looking to compare it to Stephen Amell. Because I don't think they would do, just like they didn't go Grant Gustin for Flash in the movies, I don't think they'll go Stephen Amell for Green Arrow in the movies.
I would really like to see Green Arrow, and Black Canary for that matter, but Green Arrow in a more comic true way.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go
like
for.
Stephen Amell. I'd like to see him. I think actually he would do a great job as like a more, sort of jovial Green Arrow. But I would like to see that just for like being like, yeah, Arrow is good. It is what it is. But like, hey, I'd like to see that character. That character we actually
the
like.
comedic,
So.
Yeah,
I don't, and like I think that sort of makes it even like more than Flash. Not like, oh well, don't we already have that character? It's like you're portraying him in a different way. So why not?
I agree. I mean, Stephen Amell does like what he does on Arrow. He does really well, except for season 4. Because the less said about this season, the better. He does what he does really well, and I think for like a Green Arrow movie, before you say who you want cast. I'm pretty sure I know who you're going to see you want cast.
Oh.
Charlie Hunnam, right?
Yeah, because we talked about that.
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like Pacific Rim,
we
and
talked about that, yeah.
He's got the look for it, and he's got, like, I watched Pacific Rim recently. He's got that kind of snarky comedic attitude that I feel like would fit the role.
I think even on like Sons of Anarchy, which I don't know if you ever watched, he definitely like I like the outlaw Green Arrow.
Yeah.
The kind of like, you know, following the like the rules of like right and wrong, but like his own way.
Yeah.
Which is like that's the Green Arrow I like from the comics, kind of like the like liberal Robin Hood, like take down the man, and then like eventually take down the man from the inside when he becomes mayor.
Yeah.
As long as they don't make like, I keep bringing up Arrow, but of course we have to.
Yeah.
The mayor plotline on Arrow is so fucking boring, and I don't care about it.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't exist. That I know. Would you even like to see that plotline in a Green Arrow movie?
Not that I don't know. Maybe down the line. I think it's something too complex. I think to bring into a movie right away. Like they'd have to establish.
Yeah, I think he's a character. Even with the TV show, he's sort of an unknown enough of a character that like you really want to see the origin story and the beginnings and the sort of startup of being a superhero rather than like, you know, okay, we all know Batman like saw his parents killed in an alleyway, so let's like get on with it and jump ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is another case where like, you know, if we're talking about like casting for a Justice League film, this could be a case where in a Justice League movie like Justice League 2, they introduce like, oh, we're going to like Star City, and oh, here's Mayor Oliver Queen, and here's like, and then they spring off to all these like separate films to tell their origins.
Yeah, that's kind of like what they're doing now.
That's what they're doing in Justice League. They're jumping feet first into like these people are established, and then giving them their own separate films.
Yeah. I think the DC movie mentality now at this point is, you know who these characters are. We don't need to force feed you another origin story. Let's just get right into it, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
That could be good or bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It can. I feel like at this point it's worth sort of taking that risk, though. Especially with a lot of these big characters. Like, we really are at a point where it's like, I don't need another Batman origin story. I don't need another Superman origin story, for God's sake. Like, let's do something else instead of trying to make that first movie and trying and failing and trying and failing.
Even the Flash movie, like, you know, they announced at Comic-Con it's going to be Flashpoint. And from what we see in the Justice League clips, he has some interaction with his dad in prison. And, you know, going back to the TV show, everybody knows the origin story of the Flash already. Like, that's something that I don't think they're going to show in the movies.
I almost guarantee in Justice League you'll see Flash, you know, interact with his dad, and he'll mention, like, you know, don't worry, Dad, like, I know you didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then, like, Batman will be like, you know, oh, I know your mom, whatever. And then the Flashpoint's going to be, like, him trying to free his dad by fucking changing time.
I think the only real origin stuff we'll see in Justice League is going to be Cyborg. Just because his origin is so affected by the story they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
Like, I think we'll see a little bit of Aquaman in Atlantis, but we won't see anything of him as a kid, his mom, his dad, any of that stuff. He'll already be king. Like, he'll already have troubles going there. And then they'll save that stuff for the Aquaman movie. But I think the only, like, actual origin stories we'll see going forward, probably Cyborg.
Do you think at any point Batman will realize that him and Aquaman's dads have the same name?
Do they really?
Yeah. Thomas Wayne, Thomas Curry.
God damn it.
I hope so. I hope that there is a scene where Ben Affleck and Jason Momoa are looking soulfully into each other's eyes and talking about their fathers. That's all I want out of this movie.
I hope Batman is like, he hates Aquaman the entire movie. Because it looks like that's how it's going to go now. Like, Aquaman is kind of like...
I mean,
like
I
a
can
rough...
see their personalities not meshing very well.
The personalities don't match.
Yeah.
But, like,
then...
even in the first trailer when Bruce goes to talk to him, like, Aquaman is throwing him around that bar. Like, so yeah, I don't think they're going to get along.
In that bar scene, Aquaman will be like, get the fuck out of here, I never want to see you again. And Batman's going to walk out, he's like, this is just what my dad, Thomas Wayne, warned me about.
So you think it's going to be Aquaman who has the moment of like,
Yeah.
Thomas.
Why did you say that name? Yeah. Picks up his trident.
This is what happened.
Spears him through the trident. Why did you say that name?
This is exactly how'll happen. He beats up Batman. Aquaman's like, get the fuck out of my town. He's going to say, oh, my dad, Thomas Wayne. Aquaman's going to be at the bar. He's going to be drinking. He's going to turn. He's like, why do you say that name? And it's going to cut to them in the fucking Batmobile together.
That's pretty sure that's not going to how it's going to happen.
Do you think there's going to be a scene in the movie where Aquaman adjusts the radio station in the Batmobile?
No, I think that Flash will.
You think the Flash
Because
will?
they showed that clip of them riding in a car together already.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it might not be the Batmobile, but like it'll be probably in a car. I hope not, but no. I think how it's going to play out is we'll see that scene in the bar first. Bruce will go try to talk to Arthur and recruit him. Arthur will tell him to get the hell out. He'll go back to Atlantis, and then Atlantis gets attacked, and that's when he seeks out Bruce again. So, because like that's definitely the way they. If you look at the clips from the first trailer and the clips from the more recent one, like Aquaman is in Atlantis, you see that Atlantis is getting attacked by Steppenwolf, and I just think that whole bar scene takes place before that, because Bruce is trying to prepare. He has an idea of what's coming. Arthur tells him to fuck off, and then Arthur's like, "Oh shit, I need help," and that's when he goes and finds Bruce again.
I still think a Thomas Wayne thing comes in there.
You have to find Thomas.
We'll see.
And fucking Amy Adams shows up and just grabs Arthur's trident and fucking throws it in the water for no reason.
He looks at her and is like, "You realize I could just go get
As a
that,
dolphin,
right?"
bring it back to him immediately. Like, what's wrong with you?
Shamu swims up and it's in its mouth.
Shamu needs a new gig. He's out of SeaWorld.
Aquaman summons 9,000 crabs to eat Amy Adams.
Now there's a movie I'd watch.
They just scuttle over her and then leave her just a fucking skeleton with red hair.
He just picks her up, throws her in the ocean, and like the little microbes start eating her.
All right. We're getting a little off topic.
Are we though?
My next choice, I have two, because they have to go together.
Okay.
Booster Gold, Blue Beetle,
Obviously.
Yep. I knew that's what you were gonna say.
and
I want a blue and gold movie so fucking bad. I want a blue and gold movie so
Me too.
fucking bad.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle, I really only have one choice. Booster Gold, I have two, because the character can go either way.
Okay.
I'm thinking either
Before, which Booster Gold? Or not Booster Gold, I'm sorry, which Blue Beetle?
Ted Cord.
Okay. You gotta specify because
Only Blue Beetle.
there are a lot of people that only know Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle. So.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
but in the context of Booster Gold and Blue
right.
Beetle. Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know.
No, I get you. I think, oh shit, what's his name? The one who's Blue Beetle before Ted Cord.
Dan Garrett.
Dan Garrett. I think that he would be a good addition to, like, it would be good to have him in a Booster Gold Blue Beetle movie as, like, you know, the wizened old, he never died
The Jay
tragically.
Garrick to the Barry Allen.
I'm gonna or maybe even just in flashback.
Do you even think it, like, in the current comics right now, it's like Ted Cord's retired, and he's, like, kind of like,
That
like,
guy.
I mean, like,
Mentoring.
he's, like, mentoring. Would you even like that, maybe, or no?
I think that would be okay. But I think that's just a different movie.
It is,
That's
yeah.
not the one I want, but that would be an okay movie.
I want
like,
I want a 90s era Ted Cord Blue Beetle.
Buddy.
So, anyway, I think Blue Beetle, Daniel Radcliffe. I
can
think,
he do an American accent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it for Horns, right?
Horns.
That was
I
good.
never saw it yet.
Oh, was it?
I liked it. Oh
my God.
I thought it was funny.
I read the book, and I'm like, man, this book's a good idea, and it sucks. And then I watched the movie, and I'm like, man, this movie is a good idea, but it was filmed for $50, and it sucks. I should have liked everything about that movie. I don't know why, I just couldn't get into that movie. It was like, I liked Daniel Radcliffe. I liked the dark comedy. It was like super fucked up in parts. I like Juno Temple a lot.
Maybe I liked it because I was like half asleep when I watched it. It was like 3 in the morning. I was laying on the couch, and like I opened my eyes for a second. There was just like this big monster standing there. I'm like, okay.
Great.
Possibly.
Never saw it.
So
Can't be a
anyway,
tiebreaker.
Anyway,
back to your casting.
so Daniel Radcliffe is Blue Beetle because I kind of like going with like the kind of like feel like a nerdy like researcher type deal that's like, oh, I want to be an
sure.
adventurer too, you know? Which is I think like Ted Cord's kind of
Yeah.
deal, you know? I think Booster Gold either Paul Dano, and this is just based on Swiss Army Man.
You just want to see them, Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano together again.
I do. They were so good and have such good chemistry. But, like, I'll explain Paul Dano first.
Okay.
Because I think Paul Dano pulls off comedy really well.
Okay.
I think he also pulls off, like, intensity and, like, kind of, like, this, like, damaged quality. And I think Booster Gold is interesting. Like, he's kind of a joke to the superhero community.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, they've shown that Booster Gold kind of has to be that way. Even though he's a great hero, he has to come across as a buffoon. And he kind of has those qualities anyway of, like, he's kind of arrogant and a dick. But over the years, he's become a better hero in the comics. Like, 52, his own series, he was really noble, and he was just, like, the tragedy of him was, like, hey, you have to be a joke.
Yeah.
So that other time travelers don't go back to, like, stop you.
Right. I don't see Paul Dano pulling that off. I feel like the sort of conflict there is, like, Booster Gold has that charisma and that classic, you know, I was a quarterback and I'm
You don't
super
think
good-looking.
Paul Dano has the charisma of a football quarterback?
That is correct. That
You
is
don't
an
think the
accurate
big brother
statement.
from Little Miss Sunshine?
And I don't. I think that to some extent, Booster Gold can always sell that to the public, even though among the hero community he's a joke, and sometimes to a wider degree he's a joke as well. But there's just that, like, oh well, I can sell ads and I can sell cereal because I'm like a good-looking white-toothed guy.
So let me hit you with option number 2,
Okay,
which is Joel McHale.
that I would be 100% behind.
I think Joel McHale.
Dirty looks were just
Mike just
exchanged.
gave me a fucking face.
They gave each other a face.
Anyway.
They're
I think-
about to find out their fathers have the same name.
What's your dad's name?
Mike.
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
Holy shit, my dad's name is Mike.
Oh my god.
What do you have that I can throw into the ocean?
Get the trident.
My dad killed a guy named Mike in Vietnam. So this is
Okay.
crazy.
Getting a little off track.
I didn't know
Joel
Viet Cong had
McHale.
the name Mike.
It was his commanding officer. I'm joking, Dad. I think Joel McHale perfectly pulls off exactly what you're saying. Like, that kind of, like, charming, but, like, he's charming, but also condescending
Yeah,
about
yeah.
his charm.
Absolutely.
Like, of course you'll buy the cereal. I'm on it. Like, I'm
Right.
fucking sexy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you want to eat cereal with my face on it?
I feel like I would really enjoy watching Daniel Radcliffe as Ted Kord give Joel McHale as Booster Gold, like, just a ton of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I feel like they would have a great dynamic of just, like, yeah, it would just be total arrogant Booster Gold in, like, every setting, and then, like, they're hanging out together in just, like, relentless nonsense.
I want to see, and this is totally out there, I want to see Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion as Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. I don't know who would play who.
I think that's been, like, the classic, like, wish list
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I also want to see Radcliffe and McHale together, because I think, like, Joel McHale's 6'4". Daniel Radcliffe is 5'5".
Absolutely.
I think that would like, visually fucking hilarious to me. Of, like, tiny Daniel Radcliffe coming to the rescue of Joel McHale.
I want to see a shot of him landing the fucking Beetle like a huge ship, and then, like, walking out of it, and then just going to stand by Joel McHale, like, almost a foot shorter.
That'd be great, yeah. I think forever the classic, like, the wish list was, you know,
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk, Nathan Fillion, because they have so much good chemistry together.
Yeah.
They really fill those roles already, I think. Like,
Yeah.
I think you could put either one of them in either role and it would work. I mean, I feel like Nathan Fillion is more towards Booster Gold
Sure.
and
I think
Alan
he-
Tudyk
I think
is
he,
more
like,
towards...
naturally has that more kind of, like, arrogance.
Right.
Yeah.
to
But-
him.
It's sort of Captain
but-
Hammer.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
after seeing Alan Tudyk as Van Wayne and Powerless, he can do arrogant.
Yeah.
So I think
He
it's
is sort of
interchangeable.
more of a, like, almost sniveling arrogant, though,
Yeah.
you know?
I think they are interchangeable, but I think the better choice is...
Sure.
I think after
Fillion.
hearing...
Would Nathan Fillion ever go blonde?
No.
Yeah.
don't
Like,
think so?
has he ever dyed his hair for any role?
Has he had to?
I think after hearing Alan Tudyk as the chicken in Moana,
Great Ted Kord choice right there, yeah. This is a
really-
man
What
who
about K2SO?
owns his own company.
yeah.
Who would play Booster Gold's hot sister.
Oh, Gold Star?
Yeah, Michelle.
Yeah. You know what?
Yes?
I'm going to cast against type.
Okay.
And because I think it'd be so funny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, does anyone have
For
tissues?
Paul
Oh my God.
Dano's sister.
There is a mystery tissue at the end of her
There's a
desk.
single abandoned napkin that was in here when we came in and is like kind of all wrinkled up. Like someone used just the corner of it. Oh no! Oh, it's going to the face! Oh. It's like
And
worse.
This is the last episode where Kyle is alive. Mark the time.
You all just heard Kyle catch Ebola.
These are the pre-brain crab episodes.
What's it with you and crabs tonight?
There are crabs in the mind.
Brain
And then,
crabs.
yeah. I think if you're going to have Joel McHale as Booster Gold, I think you need just, like, an equally, like, shitty person character-wise.
Sure.
I think Aubrey Plaza
Yeah.
as Gold Star, who's kind of, and I think it'd be like let's kind of like make up a history for Booster Gold, and him, like their parents want him to be like very successful. He's like a football star, then he becomes this thing, so that like she gets pushed into also being a superhero, and just doesn't give a fuck about it.
I think she would be great in that, like, being super, like, forced, cheerful, and peppy when, like, the cameras are on, you know? And then, like, as soon as they're together, just being
Fuck
Aubrey
you, fuck
Plaza.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see like the April Ludgate version of a superhero of like
Yes.
Booster Gold and Ted are fighting, and just cuts her like fucking like texting on herself.
Like the...
Help! I'm texting.
What was that girl's name? Who was in Deadpool?
Oh,
Yeah.
Megasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yes.
Fucking love her. She
Yeah.
better be back in the sequel.
Isn't? I think she is.
Is she?
I
Good.
think she posted on Instagram or something saying, "Oh yeah, so excited to come back."
She's great.
You got me in a box here. Aha!
Anyway, no, I think like she'd be really cool. I think on the opposite end of that, if you're just gonna go for like pure, like eager to be a superhero, maybe like a Mary Elizabeth Winstead would be cool. Just to like
I was just throwing that out there. I always thought she was a very, like, uninteresting character. Like, she doesn't have a lot, like, going for her in terms of, like, depth or anything. It is just like, oh, we need, like, someone for Booster Gold to care about. And we murdered Ted Cord. I don't know how my timeline is there, but...
pretty off.
It's just that.
Well, his Booster Gold's last solo series, he saved Michelle. I think.
I don't know.
I think like she's been dead.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I think he was able to bring her back to life because she, as a time traveler, she's also an anomaly.
Yeah, yeah.
So she could be brought back to life, unlike Ted Cord.
I remember them doing a really terrible job of explaining that. Of like, okay, well, why can't I bring Ted back then? Well, because you see, Michelle, with the time travel, the thing is, here's your sister.
Get out.
Just, yeah.
Just shut up and take her and
alright.
leave us alone.
Yeah. If,
Comics. Yay.
Oh, those are my picks. What do you guys have next?
Elongated Man. Timothy Olyphant.
So
I've been
here's the backstory.
Kyle just made a face, be like, "Are you sure about that?"
No, he just made a face like not as bad as I expected.
No,
Yeah.
the first face
Oh,
when
okay.
you said elongated.
Erin has been promising to piss me off her choice for about a week now.
No, I've been just like torturing Kyle with a theoretical who's the worst person I could cast as Elongated Man because he loves Elongated Man and I don't give a shit.
He's so good.
Yeah.
I don't mind Tim the Olyphant. He hasn't done a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
He's done a
I think he would
lot.
be a sort of safe, generic choice.
Not like big stuff, but he's
Oh yeah,
done a lot.
he's done he is one of those like 300 credits to his name kind of people, but yeah.
like, I'll get sure with this. I liked him in Hitman. I think Hitman's one of the only good video game movies. I like the first one. It's dumb, but I like it. It's better than fucking Agent 47.
I didn't even see that one. I have no desire to see that
Yeah.
one.
I didn't see either.
I liked him in Santa Clarita Diet.
Didn't see that.
Haven't seen that one
Jesus
yet.
Christ.
I've been meaning
I
to.
didn't know you were such a prolific Timothy Olyphant fan.
I've heard it's good.
I like him in Scream 2.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Eh.
No, I did. Yeah, I'm being genuine.
Like, I can't tell with you.
I enjoyed Scream 2 okay, and I liked him in it.
I liked him in Deadwood.
Oh, there, yeah, Deadwood.
That was a good show.
So I liked him, the Olyphant. I don't believe that they can cast an actress to legitimately feel like she's in love with him.
Aw. Harsh.
What?
Well, she's going to get horribly murdered in the second scene anyway.
Shut your face. Identity Crisis might be one of the worst things to happen in comics.
Debatable, but go on.
Identity Crisis is DC's ultimatum. It just set DC on this fucking path of, like, grim, dark edgelordness for, like, a decade. Everyone was like, hey, remember Sue Dibney? Well, guess what? She's gonna get fucking raped and murdered. Hey, remember Ted Kord? He's gonna get shot in the fucking head. Hey, remember Booster Gold? He's gonna get, like, injured in an explosion, then travel back to the future. Hey, remember Fire? She's unconscious in the hospital. Hey, remember fucking Wildebeest? Superboy Prime punched her goddamn head off!
So I'm confused. Are you against this storyline, or...?
Kyle just made me spit water all over myself.
Although,
Good.
Identity Crisis sucks, but it has one of the best Batman-Robin moments. God, we're so off topic.
Sure. We're still
Where,
on DC. It's close enough.
Where it's, Tim Drake's father dies, and
That's when...
Tim Drake's dad is on, like, the line with, like, Batman, essentially. He's like, hey, there's someone in my fucking house going to kill me. It's Captain Boomerang. And Tim Drake, like, looks at Batman, and he's like, do not let my dad die.
Uh-huh.
And this fucking panel set up to have of Batman just, like, looking at Tim with this, like, fucking, like, panic in his face. It's fucking heartbreaking. And then, like, the last page is Batman, like, clutching Robin, who's, like, just fucking, like, broken down in tears. And the caption is Batman and Robin, orphans.
That's before Bruce adopts him, right?
Yeah.
Because that's shortly after that.
Yeah. It's hard to adopt a kid.
Wow.
Well, it's not.
Like,
yeah.
Batman just shows him punches to Tim Drake's head, and he's like, hey, I fucking adopted your kid. Deal with it. Can you, here, sign these bat adoption papers with my bat pen.
I'll write you a bat check.
Who else does anyone have? Mike, your turn.
I want to go for a villain.
Okay.
And let's go...
Reformed villain coming into
No.
the Justice League as a hero, or just straight villain? Okay.
I want to see straight villain. I want to know who you guys would recast for Joker. Because
Jack Nicholson.
I think
It's not
at
too late.
this point, Jared Leto doesn't want to
Ugh.
do it anymore.
No one wants him
Good
to do
riddance.
it either.
You think? I mean,
No, he fucking sucked. Good, I said good riddance. Like, I don't ever want to see him as a Joker again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anyone.
I just would love to see a live action Mark Hamill Joker. Like, that would be great for me. That's all I want. That's all I want in life.
I think the Jared Leto Joker is a weird place. Because there are some people who really liked him in the role, and there are some people like yourself who don't. I think the biggest problem with the character, other than the appearance of him with all the tattoos and fucked up face, was, like, the writing wasn't
Just
spot
the
on.
Hot Topic Joker.
Yeah.
I
Like,
feel like the Jared Leto Joker is like the Donald Trump presidency.
oh boy.
Because, like...
That's harsh, but I'm not sure against whom.
Because, like, now it's like, you know what, like, why not anyone else now?
Yeah.
Like, the floodgate's been opened, like...
Right, yeah, like, oh, if we're doing that, then
Like,
sure,
you know who
just
might be, you know
anything.
who the Joker should be? Fucking, like, Ron Funches. Like, why not? Like,
Yeah.
Vin Diesel could be the Joker. Fucking Brad
John
Garrett.
Cena's gonna be taken.
Brad Garrett Joker, bring him on.
Oh, Brad Garrett Joker would be great.
In all seriousness, though,
I don't know, like...
it's a hard role to
Can't
cast,
be.
right?
It is, and like, I think Joker needs to be retired from movies for like a decade. I don't want to see Ben Affleck fight a Joker.
I'd like to see a Joker as the counterpart to Ben Affleck's Batman, which isn't like
Older,
20-year-old, Jared Leto Joker, but like
I see
he's
where
been
you're
at
going.
the game. And, yes.
And I agree. Matt Damon.
That was like the last name I expected to come out of your mouth. but yes, with a Boston accent.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about the Joker that it's just such a hard role to like portray on screen. Like, there's not that. I mean, there have been good Jokers, but there's not been a Joker that was spot on. Am I wrong in saying that?
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like cool now to like bash the Chris Nolan films. But, like, Heath Ledger's Joker, like, I don't. Purely as like, I mean, even if he's not like comic accurate, just like the Joker as the opposite of like Batman, of like just pure chaos.
Yeah.
Like of just no order, like a force of nature character, you know?
Yeah.
Like a hurricane as the Joker
Right.
is great. Like
Yeah, and I think that was a good, like, Heath Ledger did portray that well, you know, for what was written and like what they had, he did that very well. I sort of agree with what you were saying though, Mike, as like, I think he definitely got aspects of it, and he got like, and every portrayal of the Joker has gotten aspects of it.
It's just like the
Good.
same thing with Batman. Like, we've had, in my opinion, before Ben Affleck, we've had different good aspects of Batman, but not one that was all encompassed into one. And I think even Ben Affleck is lacking in some areas, but like, he's got the most of it all together. But like Joker, we've gotten different aspects of the Joker in different actors, but not all encompassed into a comic book accurate one. So, like, maybe they should. Maybe until they can get it right, maybe they just take a break from Joker for a while and go a different route with villains. Because there's so many villains to do for Batman or in Justice League, and, like, in general. But
Kite Man.
Stop fucking talking about Kite Man every 5 minutes with you. Goddamn Kite Man.
I would like to see a well done Bane, like better than how he's been in the past, like accurate, comic book accurate Bane.
You're just not that.
You didn't like
Anything.
Batman Forever? Bane?
Oh, I forgot
Oh,
about
you mean
that.
that's Batman and Robin?
That's Batman Robin,
You
sorry.
idiot.
Dude, there's fucking like 47 bad guys. Fucking Floronic Man's in Batman and Robin, right? Like,
What?
Is he?
Who's Floronic Man?
Lex Luthor's dad from Smallville.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the one that kills Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
and then she kills him. It's such
I
a
am binging this right
This
now.
is such a-
Floronic Man. I don't remember him.
that had to be the okay. Side note: which version of Bane would you say was worse, the Batman and Robin Bane, or the Dark Knight Rises Bane?
I would say Batman and Robin Bane's worse just because, like, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's not even the character. But, like, Tom Hardy Bane is, like, such wasted potential. And he's not even really what Bane is in the comics.
Right. He's nothing
Yeah,
like
Like-
it's like, I feel like you can't even quantify his because it was just so bizarre. It was like, what are you doing?
For Dark Knight
Like, what are
Ri-
you going for?
They made Bane a henchman instead of a leader in
Sure.
Dark Knight Rises.
But in Dark Knight Rises, I felt like they were trying to go for this, like, you know, Batman is an authoritarian figure, right? But Batman's almost like chaotic authority. He operates outside the law. Like, Bane represented, like, fascist authority. I mean, he had the big, like, fur-collared coat, and he's standing on a tank, like, declaring, like, martial law. They're trying to, like, make Bane Two-Face. They're trying to make Bane the flip side of Batman, and, like, that's not what he is.
Right.
And, like, I liked his fur coat.
I would say Bane is more like Batman than an opposite of Batman in the comic books, right? Like he sees himself as a parallel to Batman in the comic books a lot of the time.
Yeah, I guess.
Like in a different, like on the obviously the criminal side, but he doesn't consider himself. He considers himself order like Batman considers himself order, just in a different way.
I feel like Bane maybe considers himself like Batman to 11. Where he's like, oh, you're smart. He's like, I'm a little bit smarter sometimes. Like,
I'm a
oh,
little
you're
stronger.
Like, oh,
I'm a
you're
little
built.
better.
Like, I'm fucking like jacked. Like, oh, you have a mansion. I fucking bought an island. Like,
The only thing that Batman and Robin Bane has going for it was the over-the-top, muscle-bound look. And even that was a little much with, like, all the veins. Like,
it was the 90s.
his skin was, like, green.
It's the 90s.
Everything was green.
That Ninja Turtle syndrome.
All right, that's it for us tonight. It's way later than when we started, and we're all very tired. This is the Sleepy Nerds podcast. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.